Good evening. As we continue to usher you into the month of love, this is what's coming up on the show. The global flying dress trend is officially making its way to South Africa, turning ordinary photo shoots into unforgettable luxury experiences. Fashion, confidence, and creativity came together to create picture-perfect moments. Then we honor the memory of a legend, Hugh Masekela, as we visit a jazz club in Bloemfontein, birthed in his name. Now on to putting pen to paper. Broadcaster, author, and relationship coach Masekela takes us on a journey with healthy love. Her new book, Intimate You, is making waves. Lots more coming up, so do stay tuned right here on Trendz Live.
It's giving happy Friday and a payday Friday for some of you. Dumalang Afshani Sanbonani and hello, my name is Kansani Khoza, your host for this evening. And if it's your first time joining us, please call me Candy. Welcome to Trendz Live, your go-to destination for arts, culture, lifestyle and travel. As for the preview, we have so many treats up our sleeves just for you. To kick things off though, here's what made headlines and news around the world this week.
Welcome to another exciting Friday night with Trendz. Here are stories that made headlines recently. Hamnet could edge ahead of One Battle After Another and Sinners to win the top prize at the BAFTAs as the heartbreaker about William Shakespeare, his wife Agnes, and the death of their son is likely to win over voters. Action-packed dark comedy One Battle After Another, directed by US filmmaker Paul Thomas Anderson, leads the field with 14 nominations for the upcoming ceremony, followed by Sinners, the vampire thriller and box office smash with 13 nods. Hamnet, however, directed by Oscar winner Chloe Zhao and based on the novel by Maggie O'Farrell, is the bookmaker's favorite for Best Film at the BAFTAs. The leading actor is harder to call, with Timothée Chalamet vying with Leonardo DiCaprio and Michael B. Jordan for their respective performances in One Battle After Another and Sinners. We're all looking forward to the BAFTAs. Then, actor Michelle Yeoh unveiled her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in Los Angeles recently. She dedicated the star to the crowd present and everyone who supported her for being there and for always showing her love and support throughout her journey that led her to Hollywood. Yeoh rose to fame during the heyday of Hong Kong action films in the 1980s and 1990s. She came to the attention of global audiences with the 1997 James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies, followed 3 years later with the martial art classic Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. In 2023, she won an Oscar for Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Well done to Michelle Yeoh for getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Still on achievements, what could be more perfect to start the day at the Winter Olympics in Italy than a cappuccino bedazzled with the Milano Cortino 2026 logo, or perhaps the beloved mascots Tina and Milo? That is exactly what Livino's Tipo Cafe is serving, up just steps from the slopes of the Livino Snow Park, where Olympic athletes are competing for gold in snowboard and freestyle ski events. Word of mouth has led some Olympic spectators to seek out the Olympic-themed Java, and others say they've been pleasantly surprised to get their cup of coffee with special images which are printed onto the foam by a machine. The owner says plenty of Olympic athletes have also come in for this famous cappuccino. The owner says Canada's Megan Oldham, who took gold in the women's free ski big air and bronze in the slope style, came in and he was able to print out an image of her with her golden medal onto a coffee. And of course, these are the special little things you remember about the Olympics besides the grand sporting events. Finally, advanced AI-embodied robots were amongst the most eye-catching and spectacular performers during China's 2026 Spring Festival Gala recently. They dazzled audiences with their innovative stage presence and impressive physical abilities. The Spring Festival Gala shone a spotlight on China's latest tech innovations with the achievements made by the country's fast-growing robotics sector being heavily featured at various points during the hours-long entertainment extravaganza. Humanoid robots were seen performing martial art routines, taking part in comedy sketches, and participating in a whole host of other creative performances during the live television broadcast. One of the most memorable moments saw a group of humanoids team up with young kung fu artists to deliver a knockout martial arts performance with choreographed stunts and synchronized moves, delivering a breathtaking stage segment. The Spring Festival, or the Chinese New Year, is the most important traditional holiday for the Chinese people.
We love to hear it. The global flying dress trend is officially making its way to Joburg and is turning ordinary photo shoots into unforgettable luxury experiences. We're headed to a beautiful guest house right here in Johannesburg that specializes in stunning flying dress photo shoots where fashion, confidence, and creativity come together to create picture-perfect moments. From flowing fabrics to dramatic poses, these sessions are giving everyday women the chance to feel like royalty, even if it's just for a day. Let's take a look at how this trending experience is redefining photography and self-expression locally with Trendz producer Uleng Mulebatsi.
I traveled a couple of kilometers to Krugersdorp in Johannesburg to play dress up. Because why? The flying dresses are trending. And why is on Trendz Live. This is one trend that we predict that is going to be the hottest in Joburg in 2026. Inspired by the iconic Bali flying dress experience, guest house owner Mpoma Uba brought the global trend home.
I just noticed that most of the people, they travel this far to go to Bali and do the photo shoot. Then I just realized why should we go this far for just a photo shoot, flying dress photo shoot. Coming back from Bali, then I just sat and do my research and started to buy material and design the dress for us here in South Africa. People are more interested on the dress because most of the time when they come here, one will pick a yellow dress, then she'll say, no, they are making me confused. I don't know which one to choose. And also the background where they take pictures also. The reason why I started this also, I wanted to create more of activities for people that are coming in our guest house so that they don't have to go out and look for activities. On your arrival, you do your payment. Then we take it to our change room, change to the dress that you want. We also assist you for dressing up. Then after that, we take you out for photo shooting. We also direct you how to pose, what to do.
Is it a one-size-fits-all kind of dress or is it different sizes?
It's one size fits all. Yeah, we have designed it so that it can fit all sizes.
What started as an idea has now transformed into a sought-after activity, blending fashion, travel, and unforgettable memories.
Each and every weekend we have people coming from Free State, KZN, and Limpopo just for flying dress photo shoot.
This experience turns everyday photo shoot into a confidence-boosting experience.
I feel like people can actually create a good background. Background is like one of the most important things, in a photo. You can have the dress, but the background should be on point. It felt like we were playing sisters, Barbie girl doll. Everything was just perfect.
It's pretty amazing. It was my birthday today, and I'm so super happy. It really came for a floating basket and a jacuzzi. And then I'm blessed with the floating dress because I was supposed to do it on Durban. But yeah, there I am.
A little wind, a flowing dress, and a whole lot of confidence, proving that great experiences are closer than you think.
All right, on that beautiful note, we gotta pay some bills. Whilst we're gone, do best and connect with us on X at Trendz on SABC. And let us know what other stories from SA and beyond you think we'll be exploring next. You're still tuned into SABC News, and this is Trendz Live. Up next, we pay tribute and celebrate a legend that has contributed immensely to the South African music scene. The great late Hugh Masekela, who was a South African trumpeter, flugelhornist, cornetist, singer, composer, all of the above, and he was described as the father of South African jazz. A jazz club in Bloemfontein, Hughes recently opened in honor of preserving his legacy. Trendz Live producer Randy Tsubane has more for us, and now we get to be her +1.
Hugh Masekela was known for his jazz compositions and for writing well-known anti-apartheid songs such as Soweto Blues and Bring Him Back Home. After gaining his international fame, he used his music to fight for liberation in South Africa. I sat down with another legend, singer-songwriter Ntate Vusi Mahlasela, on his relationship with Hugh that consisted of music as well as a great friendship.
We did a collaboration on one of my songs, which is Silang Mabele at Moretela Park at the festival. Knowing Hugh's work, that I was following what he was doing and all that, after he came to the country and all that, he sort of like really pushed the wheel, and then put, other musicians on the work with. That there was like some tours that were done. His music was something which was really special because Hugh had a very particular taste that he would really feel that this is the accent of Hugh. Not only with voice, but his trumpet. He's got his own conversation. But Hugh was a person who was sort of willing to work with a lot of people, especially the young, where he collaborated with.
As I continue the conversation with Vusi Mahlasela, he takes us through some strong collaboration Hugh did, as well as the importance of where they all got inspiration for the music they made.
There was some shows that I was doing in the US where we collaborated with on that show that Hugh was doing in Washington, D.C. And then on that show, he featured me, Vusi Mahlasela, the late Sepetula, may his soul rest in peace, and Bushim Mhlongo, may his soul rest in peace, and Spongile Kumalo, may her soul rest in peace. And that show was really very nice, collaborative, with South African voices, that Hugh, spiced and all said, I'm showcasing the South African talent here. And it was such a great thing to happen.
The Hugh Masekela Heritage Foundation aims to leave a profound legacy. It was founded in 2016 by the trumpeter. The forefront is to preserve and promote African heritage in order to contribute to the restoration of African identity. Board member of the foundation, who happens to also be Hugh's daughter, Pula Twala, unpacks all that they do, as well as Hugh Masekela's legacy preservation.
When it comes to preserving legacy, one thing that he used to say was to say the legacy is not his problem. It's the people who are going to stay behind who will figure out what to do with it, because he was forward thinking, was always ready to do something new. So in that case, it's something that we've always had to think deep about. And yes, we can be sentimental about the music, but we also have to work hard on the work that he had already started. We collaborate a lot with people, with spaces, with artists. And so one of our proudest collaborations, for instance, just to give you a piece of what the foundation does, is that we've collaborated with the Manhattan School of Music, and we have a scholarship in his name called the Hugh Masekela Heritage Scholarship. So far, we actually have 7 graduates. We started it in 2019.
We now get to the gist of class, elegance, and style. You know what they say, red for danger. Adam Levy, the founder of Hughes, takes us through the space as well as its creation.
Hughes is a aside from it being paying homage to Bra Hugh, it's framed in its excellence, and that's been the enchanting takeaway for me in the limited time that it's been open. People haven't spoken about the geography of where we are. They've spoken about the sensibility and the feeling that people experience here. So the takeaway generally has been this awe of, they can't believe that such a thing exists in Johannesburg. Hughes is not just about the location of where it's stationed. Hughes is about a feeling and about a moment, and I think we all need that wherever we are in the world.
One of the greatest things is living your dream while making an impact. Hugh Masekela was iconic, and even though the music may have stopped, the melody certainly lingers on. He may be gone, but his legacy remains.
From one icon to another, Lebo M's voice is more than music. It's a global signature of African storytelling. From shaping the powerful soundscape of The Lion King to building world-class productions that spotlight South African talent, he has carried our arts and culture into some of the biggest stages in the world. Naturally, Trendz live producer Bulelani Ligokwana sat down with the legendary composer to unpack more about his journey. Let's get more.
For decades, Lebo M has carried the rhythm of Africa into cinemas, theatres and arenas across the world. Now he turns the spotlight inward, reflecting on a journey shaped by bold ambition and cultural pride. We step into Lebo M's chapter where celebration meets intention and where the next wave of storytellers is being prepared for the world stage.
A million more moments that came long before we did the Lion King movie with Hans. The project that introduced me and Hans to Disney is actually my first movie called The Power of One. Before that, I had done the Oscars, I'd done the Grammys and performed around the country in the US. But the introduction to the Disney via the Lion King is the music introduced us. The product that we did before the Lion King is a movie called The Power of One. The soundtrack from The Power of One, we look at it more like the appetizer to the Lion King soundtrack. So we sort of developed a product and an idea that incorporated African orchestral music with Eurocentric music and produced at the highest level. The lyrical content of the entire Lion King is the most South African you can ever be in being inspired how to tell a story through music. Because the lyrical content of The Lion King is inspired by my being in between two countries and rising with the arrival of the new democracy. So by the time Simba takes over the Pride Land, I'm 2 feet away from former President Mandela being the first president. So I'm living in dual worlds at the same time.
Lebo M also shares his personal favorite moments throughout his journey and the memories that have shaped it, leaving a lasting impact on his heart.
I think there are key specific moments that stand out, and now it's not receiving the Grammy, it's not all the accolades, it's just watching my childhood dreams unfold. And they don't just unfold.
On that note, we actually have an interview, and that's what happens with live television. Naledi is in the building with me. Honestly, we're not going to get a chance to hear her sing, but I know her music might just play underneath this music, or rather this interview. She is one person that has got a vibrant heritage, and she celebrates her authenticity so much. She's South African-based, but South African-born and US-based, and she's here to join us in studio. Welcome, madam. I'm sorry we don't have a lot of time together, but it's such a pleasure having you here. I want you to tell every single person at home about your brand new album, Darkness, My Old Friend. Let's highlight it for the people out there so they can go purchase and support you.
Okay, so thank you so much for having me, Candy. Hi, everybody on Trendz Live. It's so good to be home. It's so good to be singing with you all. I've just released a project called Darkness, My Old Friend. And Darkness, My Old Friend is all about finding yourself in what can be a really lonely world. So I live in New York City.
Yes.
And people say, you know, New York City is so busy. There's so much happening all the time.
Yeah.
But you find yourself sometimes really just going into really quiet places by yourself, trying to understand what it means to be human, what it means to be yourself. And this is something that I've I wouldn't say struggle, but I've struggled with my whole life.
I hear you.
And so this project was just so timely as I'm trying to navigate these different things
Finding
that are happening.
yourself,
Exactly.
the space that you're in, and basically this music that you're making.
Exactly.
I need people to understand that, girl, the fact that you're so young, South African, but making so many huge waves overseas. I mean, you've been featured by Amazon, Apple Music, we're talking about Spotify. I'm sure those are like goosebump moments, but another goosebump moments, you're going to be joining Hans Zimmerman, the one and only, on his European tour. Not the first time you're joining him, but let's talk about that, you know, saying that you are a vocalist that's going to be featured.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So Hans Zimmer is one of the biggest composers in the world. He's done music from The Lion King to Batman to F1. And I'm really excited to be invited back to the tour this time as a featured vocalist.
Of course.
I'm really excited to be sharing in cinema music in this big stage, in these big spaces. It's always such an honor to be sharing room and sharing space with such legendary people. I'm quite nervous,
you
but I'm
are
excited.
a legend in the making
but it's
yourself.
like-
And Mr. Hans Zimmer, I'm sorry for getting your surname wrong, but you literally are a legend in the making.
Yeah.
What are you hoping that all of this leads to? I mean, you're making a name for yourself, making this music, you know, composing it, storytelling, writing, singing. What do you hope the journey becomes for Naledi, and one day when people look back at your career, you are this what?
Yeah, I always say 3 things are really important to me. That is music development, women, and then Africa as well in big brackets. And I hope that everything that I do in my career, the music that I make, the spaces, the people I advocate for, will always highlight those things and will allow people to feel empowered, and will also empower people and give them platforms to have their own voices. I don't want to be a voice for the voiceless. I want to create platforms in spaces where the voiceless are not yet allowed, and open those doors and create those spaces for them to speak for themselves and to advocate for themselves. So,
and this is why you're a composer, darling. We have to go back and speak about the EP, you know, Darkness, My Old Friend. I feel like it's a very intimate and artistic statement, a lot of people would say, but you open it with a haunting reimagining of the sound of silence. Why is that? What was it about that song that you said, I want this to be a point in the album to open on?
yeah, I think, you know, when you're alone, when you're lonely, you tend to sit in silence, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're crying or whatever. But you tend to sit in silence. And I think for me, that song has always been like, what is silence? Because you sit in silence. Silence is supposed to be peaceful. It's supposed to be quiet. But you feel so overwhelmed by it. And that song has been one thing that has really allowed me to be in a space where I can actually feel a tangible, like just make it tangible, make myself feel real in this world that just feels so much bigger than myself sometimes. And that song has always been something that, you know, hello darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk to you again. Those words for me have always just been so grounding and reminding me that even in that silence, there is a voice, there is a higher voice listening to you. There is a little voice, your inner child listening to you. And yeah, and that song by Paul Simon is one of my favorites.
One of your favorites, and you are one of my favorites. I'm going to hold your hand to say thank you for coming in tonight. You're gorgeous, and I know that South Africa is going to go out and support you. I mean, this girl has been doing remarkable things all over the world, in South Africa and beyond. So make sure that you find out all about Naledi. But unfortunately, we have to love and leave you. This beautiful lady here, captivating audiences worldwide and having great iconic stages. And tonight, she joined us on Trendz Live. We will be back again next week, Friday, same time, same place, right here on SABC News. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this evening. It's been a wild one, but always a fantastic ride. My name is Candy, and you know what I always say, enjoy, keep sweet, and I'll see you next time. Mwah! Good night.
I just want someone